welcome to the program. This is What's Your Story? My name is Catherine Mwangi. We are thankful to the management of Tamarind Tree Hotel along Langata Road for giving us this beautiful space to film from. Today's story is one when I first heard, I was in shock because growing up in the church, I never expected that to be happening. But once my shock dissipated, then I needed to hear the story from this lovely woman that we met today, Joanne Aluse.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Catherine.
So Joanne has an incredible story. She is a victim. She looks gorgeous right now. She's happy. God has done a great thing in your life.
Yes,
but she wasn't looking like this a few years back because she was a victim of domestic violence. Meted on her by a man she had married who is a pastor. So now you understand my shock. Huyu mtu mhubiri, called and anointed. You were married for how long, my sister?
I was married for 14 years. Yeah.
14. When did you meet?
We met in the year 2000. And then we married in the year 2002.
So between 2000 and 2002, you were dating?
Yeah, we were dating, courting.
What kind of a man was he at that time?
Yeah, he seemed to be very committed to the work of God. In fact, he used to be an evangelist. We could come to Mombasa Hotel, preach on the streets. We preached in the streets of Korokocho. Everywhere we found time, we were preaching.
Yes.
We were preaching, seriously preaching. Tunahubiri, yes. Ambassador ungetupata, wale watu wa lunch time sisi ndio tulikuwa watu. Yes. Nimehubiri ambassador kwa muda.
So together, so for you, you were happy you had met a man of God.
Yes.
Was that always your childhood dream, to get married to a minister?
Yes, of course.
Oh, tell me about it.
Because I used to see most of the pastors, they really loved their women. Their women were very gorgeous. And it's like, I was imagining that if there is any problem, you'll just read the Bible and you pray together, and then that problem goes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how did you two meet?
Yeah, we met in a church in Acacia
Hey.
on Friday. Then he approached me, but on that day I didn't love him so much because he was in a big jacket. He never looked so handsome the way I was expecting. Because in our church I used to see very good men with very nice suits. But this man comes to me and he approaches me, asking me for my name. Then I tell him my name. Then he asks me again, "You said you are who?" I'm telling him, my name is Joanne. Then he asks again. I became bored and marched away from him.
Jina mara tatu. Kwani ashikanishi?
I don't know. In fact, I even told him the 3 names. But it's like, no, tell me your name again. And I was bored. Why is he disturbing me? And we are supposed to be going for our vacation. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's how
you two met.
Yeah, that's how I met him. So I marked him because of how he kept on asking me the question. So when I met him on the road, I remembered him because of how he had disturbed me during the vacation. Yes.
And one thing led to another, and you started to now see each other, date, courtship.
Yes.
So for you, you were happy you had met a pastor?
Yeah, I had met a pastor.
You were ministering at Ambassador and other places?
Yeah, we were ministering.
Yeah.
There are so many places, and he seemed to be very serious with the work of God. Then, you know, he had memorized so many verses. So most of the times he would leave me. In fact, the first book that he gave me, it was in the book of Psalms chapter 37. Delight in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart.
Jesus. That was the first verse.
That was the first verse. Yes.
So you were happy that, you know, I'm going to be married to a pastor, I'll be a pastor's wife.
Yes.
So I had already envisioned how your life would be colorful.
Wow, yes, very true. How we'll be preaching to great people.
Yes.
There will be no problems in our marriages.
Yes.
we'll just be laughing, praising God, thanking Him for what He had done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was He ever violent towards you during courtship?
No, during courtship He never showed any sign of violence. But immediately, just immediately we entered into marriage, He started it.
How did it start?
I remember there is a day that he just came, and I think to some extent he was insecure. I don't know. He was too possessive. I can't tell because whenever he saw you maybe having a friend around, that is when he would feel insecure. And he doesn't act or ask about it, but he just comes and starts acting. So on that very, very moment, the first moment in marriage, he hit me and I had to go and sleep in my uncle's home on that night.
So hold on. So this was how long after you got married?
Around 7 months.
7 months?
Yes.
Wow, what we call the honeymoon stage.
Yes, the honeymoon stage.
Yes.
I remember it wasn't easy, in fact, during that time. There is a day I even attempted to commit suicide. And he's the one who snatched the knife from me.
You wanted to kill yourself?
Yes.
What?
Because of the stress.
So the violence, the beatings would happen how many times a week? What would trigger them?
Okay, you know, it wasn't something structured that you would say that it is going to happen at this time. Well, what happens is just something that happens automatically.
You don't
unexpectedly. It's not that you will have to quarrel or have anything that might tell you that maybe there might be violence. No, it wasn't like that. Yeah, we would be at peace even when we are walking on the roads. But immediately we come into the house, things change. Things change.
Just like that?
Yeah, in fact, most people had really admired us on the roads because we were always together. I later came to realize that it was like, it's something that he was trying to defend or to cover up so that most people may not know what is happening behind the bars, behind the curtains.
Yeah.
Yes.
Were you, so after, say, a session, a violent session,
yes,
would he apologize later? Was
there are times that he could apologize. You know, we used to involve our best couples, we used to involve some of our friends, and even our parents. I remember there is a time that the best couple had to come and sleep in our house, trying to mend the relationship. And you know the reason why I also didn't move out of that relationship from that time?
Yeah.
It's because my former church, my spiritual mother, Mary, she saw it from afar and she told me that she's not seeing as if that marriage is going to work. Yes, yes.
So oh wow, so your spiritual authority.
Yeah, my spiritual authority were against that marriage.
So for you, you felt it has to work?
Yeah, for me, I felt it has to work. Even the day of our wedding, the wedding was there, but there was no certificate. There was no dowry. And it happened.
Mchungaji hakutoa nini? Dowry?
Yes, hakutoa dowry.
How?
When we went at our place in my mother's home, he told them that he will come later on after the wedding to pay what he had. At that particular time, he had no money. So I just entered into that marriage, though my spiritual parents didn't want it, but I just went into that marriage. So I had to cover it up. Even when I'm going through it, I didn't want to tell people that this is what I'm going through, because I was thinking that my spiritual parents would see, we told you not to go into that marriage, but I was wrong.
So
yeah,
it was not legalized. There was no pastor.
It was not legalized.
There was no certificate from the government.
We signed, but I think it was not taken back to Sharia house. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so, because when I went to confirm it later after we had separated, I found out that there was no certificate in that office. Yes, yes.
So So you stay, now I understand, because I've always wondered, like, when someone stays in a violent relationship, what makes them stay?
Yes.
So for you at first, it was, you had been warned by the people you look up to, but you wanted to prove them wrong.
Yeah, I wanted to prove them wrong.
And did you also believe he would change?
Yeah, I always believed, you know, I'm an intercessor. Before I met him, most of the time I used to spend my time in Karura Forest, praying and fasting. So I knew there was nothing impossible with our God. I knew he would change automatically.
Yes.
So I went into that marriage knowing that that man is going to change.
Yes. And the prayers of the righteous availeth
much.
But now the other scripture that we were not putting in practice is what God has not joined together. But you, the intercessor,
I knew God would move mountains.
Even your marriage.
Yes, even the things that were tougher, God would change them.
So how would you feel when you go to the church where he was now the pastor or the lead minister, and he's preaching na umekaa hapo front row? You know how pastors always mlikuanga?
Yes. Tukiingia kwa church, most of the time I would pretend. Yes, very true. In fact, you know, the church was young, so I was the one leading worship most of the time. Sometimes I interpret for him. Sometimes I do the prayers and all that. So ni kuvumilia with a lot of tears. Sometimes you go in church, you are leading worship, and people think that
breakthrough
umezama sana, lakini yale machozi ni machozi ya vile vituko umeona. Behind the bus unalia, wanasema mama pastor aki yako kiroho.
Kai, kumbe ni uchungu
uko nao. Uchungu nilikuwa nao.
So did you have friends in the pastoral circles? Did you share with other pastors' wives?
Yeah, I used to share with them. We used to pray together, and we believed God that things are going to change. Even our best couple, our mom, Dolphin, could even counsel me most of the time, telling me that things are going to change. But in fact, after prayers is when things become worse. Yes.
And they themselves, were they in good marriages?
Yeah, I might say they are in good marriages because nobody is telling you about what he or she is going through in that house.
So you can't know.
Yes, you can't know.
But you're the one sharing your story with them.
You have to share because sometimes it's painful and you're seeing danger. You know, when you are hit, you don't know what will happen next time. Yeah.
So how bad would it get? Like, what's the worst that ever happened to you in that marriage?
I might say it is twice. One, I was hit on my face. I went to another hospital at Kariobangi, and I had an X-ray at Kariobangi Premium Hospital on my head and my tooth, my forefront tooth, which I had an injury. Then, okay, but the doctor told me that it will just heal after some time, but I should not bite something that was too hard. Then the worst was when I was hit on the wall and I broke my mandible jawbone, and I had to be taken to the hospital and be admitted at Nairobi Women's Hospital. In fact, Diana Kamande is the one who referred me to that hospital, where I had to go through the series of counseling, psychological help, and all that. In fact, I didn't want to open up because this marriage, sincerely, I had tried my level best. Without his provision, without anything, I would cover up, go work so hard so that I may get something, do the bills, pay everything for all that time in the name of just covering my marriage so that it might not break.
Joanne,
yes.
You want to tell me he was not even handling the bills?
Yeah, I remember there are many times that we had to sit down, and even with our best couple, and they had to cancel. I remember this scripture was always there, that he who does not provide for his own family is worth more than an infidel. So every time we would speak about that. And even the last moment when I was hit, it was because of that. We had closed schools, and it was on a Thursday. So I had to go look for, in my house there were mattresses, but the mattresses were torn. And you remember during those days, these things of bed bugs had started. So those bed bugs were in our house. And the mattresses that my babies had, they had some holes. So I thought maybe those eggs were there. So I removed those mattresses, went, burned them, bought a new mattress, kept there. So I did a lot of thorough cleaning in the house up to around 7. So at 7 is when he knocked the door using his feet. And as normal, okay, if he's in the right mood, he would knock the door using his hands. But during that time, when I hear him knock using the leg, I don't open up. I used to send my second born to go and open the door for him because I knew it wasn't very good. So when he came and slept on the couch. And I knew maybe everything was not very good. So I came, greeted him, but he never responded. So I told him, help me with the 50 shillings so that I go buy flour for you. My kid said to take rice and green grams, of which he never used to take that during supper. He used to take ugali during supper. So he told me, I've always told you not to ask me for money in this house. I told him, no problem, but I only needed 50 shillings to buy flour. I know by tomorrow I will have sorted it out. So he told me not to ask him. So I went through the back door, looked for flour for him. I had some money on my phone. So when I went to the M-Pesa, the M-Pesa lady gave me 2,000 shillings that was not changed. So the 2,000 shillings, when I came to the shopkeeper didn't have change. So she went round looking for change. So I had taken time. So the man thought maybe I was doing my own things. So he flashed me. And I saw, because the shop was just next to our gate. So I saw, because I'm just next to the gate, there's no need of me calling him back. So I did what I was doing. When the lady came back, I took the flour, went back. I took flour and milk, sour milk, maziwa mala. So I took it to him, and I prepared food for him. And he never showed anything, though he was just quiet in the house. So I went prepared, but he took the milk, the mala, and gave it to the children. Instead of him taking, he gave it to the children. So I knew maybe something was not very good. And during the cleaning, I had bought soap. So when I started preparing the soap, he went and slept. And because I was mixing the soap with a lot of strength, the foam was too much. So I had to wait for the foam so that the water so that the level of the water may be at least the 10 liters that I needed. So he went to the bedroom, but he came back. And while I was waiting, I fell asleep on the couch. So I started dozing. And then I heard the door bang. And when the door bang, nikashtuka kwa usingizi. And then I took the phone that was on the table, pressed it. But he never talked about that. Then he went back to the bedroom. So I woke up faster, prepared the soap, and then I went to sleep. So when I went to sleep, he started accusing me. I'm in the house, you went to the shop, and you took long. And then I've come to sleep in the bedroom, and you are on the couch chatting with your boyfriends. I told him, no, kuja pole pole. Najua, I was thinking maybe it's just a joke. And then I knew him, especially when he started accusing me. I would bend low so that I don't, because anything would happen. So when I said, kuja pole pole, he pulled me from the bed. And I tried to hesitate. Nikasonga mwisho wa bed because I knew it was very bad. He went, switched on the lights. Na baada ya switch on the lights, I used to mend some clothes. And I had these long scissors. So akashika hizo scissors. When I saw the scissors, nikashika neti na nguvu so that akijaribu kufungua the net, asijaribu kunipata. And at that time I was yelling so loud. Hey, hey, you want to kill me? And I could yell on my loudest voice because I had seen he was just too furious, and it's like now my life was in danger. So when I kept on yelling, my kids ran from the bedroom where they were, and then they came to my rescue. So they started knocking the door. And you know these doors were steel doors.
Yes.
So as they kept on knocking, he started hitting me on the wall. And in that process of hitting me on the wall, it's when my daughter told him, you are not going to kill my mother. My mother is the one who's been doing the bills in this house. You are not going to kill my mother. So when he opened the door to go and send the kids outside, it's when my elder daughter told me, and then it's like she was telling me, go back and lock yourself inside. And that is how my life was rescued. But I was swollen all over. I had broken my mandible jawbone. So I slept in that bedroom over that night with a lot of pain that night. So when it came to in the morning, I went back to our best couple to tell them about my story. It's when my best couple referred me to Diana Kamande. And then Diana Kamande asked me to go to the hospital at Nairobi Women's Hospital. So my brother took me there, and when they saw my case, I had to sleep in that hospital because I was swollen. And you know, with that pain, it's like you've tried the best you could. Yeah. You see, in this situation, it's like I had not done any mistake. Yeah. In fact, what I was doing, it was for his own benefit. Yeah. But now I'm being hit for something that I had not done any mistake. So I was in the hospital for around 2 weeks. And then I came back. And you know, when you are in the hospital, you are induced all over. Yeah. So I had those bandages on my hands. So when I came, I entered into the house and he was around. So I met him in the corridor. And it's like he was asking me, why did you allow me to do this to you? In fact, yani ni kama hakuhisi ya kwamba ana ile upole. That thing really pained me. I've been in the hospital, you have not called me, you have not even asked me my whereabouts, and you are still accusing me of allowing you to do that to him.
Hold that thought, my goodness. We will have to come back after this short commercial break to get to just understand this man and also get to understand the breaking point for Joanne, where she finally decided, forget the family pressure, forget the church pressure, my life is valuable and I need to leave. So don't go anywhere. This story has a good ending. I feel it after the break.
He had married and all that. Oh. And we had now to start living our own life.
How long after you left did he bring another woman to the house?
It wasn't too long. I think it was just 3 months.
3 months?
Yes.
Welcome back. It's What's Your Story? My name is Catherine Mwangi, having an unbelievable conversation with Joanna Luce, who was married to a man of the cloth, that's a pastor, and who decided that she's not worth living and meted out violence during the course of their marriage. And we have left it at, you were admitted for 2 weeks, he never called you, never came to see you, then you go back to the same house. Yes. Man, you are strong.
Yes.
And he says, why did you allow me to do this to you?
Yes.
So he's reflecting his wickedness, that it is now your fault. Yeah. That you didn't stop me.
Yes.
As if you have the strength to stop
him. Yes.
My God.
But it was so painful on me at that particular time.
Of course.
Very painful.
Of course.
I'm in the hospital for 2 weeks. You've not checked on me. You've broken my mandible jawbone, In fact, when the mandible jawbone was broken, my ear was also affected. I had to stay on medication for around 4 good months.
My God.
And every time I should not go to a place where there is a lot of commotion because I used to have a lot of headache.
So this time, what are the people in your church thinking? Wanafikiri uko wapi?
There are those who accused me, maybe nimeenda zangu. You know, I had not told anybody that I'm in the hospital.
Yes.
I remember one lady calling me and ananiuliza, wewe mwanamke unaweza achaje watoto wako umeenda kuzurura? And right now, at that particular time, I was in the hospital. I never told anybody.
And these are mshirika?
Yes, mshirika wa church.
Talking to the first lady like that?
Yes. The man had told them nimetoroka.
Wow. So, my God, this story has me angry, shocked, all those things. Because when you see a pastor, you expect them to live by the word.
Yes,
you
yes,
know, the word
yes.
says, love your wife. Love your wife. Now, did you ever get to understand why he behaved this way? Did you guys ever go to a professional counselor to find out, ama to him it was never his fault?
You know, yeah, most of the time to him it wasn't his fault. Huh? And then another thing that he used to do, when we are doing counseling, he would pretend to be so humble and very remorseful. In fact, when we are doing that counseling, it's like he deviates from the real thing. He doesn't say why it happened. He jumps into concluding by saying the sorry word.
So that he share.
Yeah,
we move on.
Yes.
My
That's
God.
it.
Yes. So Joanne, you have 3 kids at this time in this
Yes,
marriage.
I have 3 kids.
Yes. That.
Yes.
So he never even used to feel ashamed because the kids. You know, there's a way a man wants his kids to view him. He never had that thing of.
He never had that thing. Even now, he has never checked on them.
Since you left?
Yes. There is only one time that he asked me or my daughter, who had finished Form 4, how she performed. And then from there, he never bothered to know their
So he doesn't know what they eat, where
they
they sleep?
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Let me ask you, did he have another family during your marriage?
I might not know because later on it's when I had there are several kids. I don't know how it went. But you know, I didn't want to follow up on that because there are so many things that maybe would have made me become bitter and not pursue my purpose.
Yeah. So what was your breaking point? Where did it reach for you where you decided, you know what, I cannot live like this anymore?
Now, on that very, very day, when I came from the hospital, after he asked me about why I caused him to do that, that pain just came back so painful.
Yeah.
And I remembered that fateful night on how he had hit me on the wall and my life was in danger. And then something just came to me and asked, oh, you want to go and sleep in the same bedroom where you slept the other time? Then that pain was just too much.
Yeah. I
walked out of the house just like that with the clothes that I had from the hospital, the jacket that I had on, and I marched out. So when I was moving, I called one of the ladies that we used to go and pray with her, and she told me maybe I told her about my case, and I told her because also my face still had bruises, and I don't want my children again to see me sorrowful every time. I just needed somewhere where I can sit again until I heal and then go back to that marriage. But when I went to that lady referred me to another lady who gave me a vacant room that didn't have anything. Yeah. So she told me if I can get something where I can sleep. Yeah. So I just slept there for some time as I weigh if I think of going back to my house, because it was now it was around 15. That thing happened on 7th April. Yeah. So now it is around 15th. So on 15th, it's when I'm going to that house. So the lady told me, this house is vacant, and maybe it will only get a tenant by the end of the month. So within the 2 weeks, you might stay here as you rethink if you will go back to your house. So when I was in that house is when I started receiving calls from all over that I had left my children. He had taken me to the children's department. It's like I had assumed the children. I went to the children's department, and they told him that now, because the mother is the one who's been taking care of the children, leave the woman to go with the children. So he told me to go and pick the children. So I went to the house. He wasn't there by that time. When we came from that office, I left him, and it's like, I don't know if he was going to town or where, but I went back as he goes to town, I guess so. Then when I went, I found that the bedroom had been locked. So I picked the kids without anything, without any clothes, anything. So I came and we started sleeping with my children on the floor.
In that small room?
Yes, in that small room.
Yes.
My brother saw it and he bought for me that small mattress. Si ya wanafunzi wa shule.
3x6.
Yes, aka kadogo. So we could sleep across with my children. And another lady gave me a bed sheet ambayo sasa tulijifunika. Na tukaanza maisha hapo, waiting for things to change. Only for worse to get worse. Then I had, he had married and all that.
Oh.
And we had now to start living our own life.
How long after you left did he bring another woman to the house?
It wasn't too long. I think it was just 3 months down
3 months?
Yes.
Wow.
It wasn't long.
Yes.
Yes.
So when you got your kids, then you had gotten married.
Yes.
He never talked to you again?
Yeah. He never talked to me. We never went back to, in fact, what he did, the only communication that I got later on is when he went back to the best couple and told him that he had moved on with his life. So I should move on with my own life too.
He has never called to check on the children?
No.
This is 2016, today is 2022, that's how many years? 6
20,
years?
Yeah, 2015.
2015,
Yes.
7 years?
Yes.
Never called to find
Yes.
out what these kids are eating, drinking, living, nothing.
Yes.
And he's still a pastor?
I don't know.
You don't know also?
I don't follow up on him.
You don't,
But I guess maybe or maybe not.
Yeah.
I've not heard from him.
Yeah.
Yes.
So at what point, so yes, your scars, your physical scars healed, but the journey to healing your emotional
Yes.
scars, your
Oh.
psychological scars, what was that like? What did it take?
Before I totally healed, I got a lot of rejection. It's like now the battle had begun. All pastors and most of the women now were separated from me. I was now to live my life alone. I was now like a heathen. I no longer belong to that flock again. Nobody was there for us.
Yeah.
So we had to suffer. We went through a lot of things. We used to go through lack. I had a school, and the school now, because of the rumors around that I had also separated with my husband, the school went long. The number of pupils also reduced. Our financial status now became worse. My daughter had now joined Form 1, and I didn't have any man to take her back to school, and so many things happened. It's like I'm now living in an island. I tried to tell my children to go back to their father, and my children refused. So I was wondering, how am I going to go about it? I borrowed money from any kind of app, Mshwari, Tala, KCB, everywhere I had a lot of negatives. And these debts were so much. So because of the rejection, I even thought of now vacating from Nairobi, going back to the rural area, or go to another town where nobody knows me. So I sat down, thought of it. I even thought of now selling the premise that I had. And after thinking of that, something told me just go back to the best couple, who is now my pastor, Pastor Dismas, Sonjula, and Mama. I honor them so much. So I went back to them. I told them about the state that I was going in and what I was going through. Now they told me, let us go and pray over that institution. So I went and we prayed with them in that school, and they told me, forget about everything that has happened, forget about where you've come from and who pained you, just assume that you are starting life afresh. So they read for me a verse that says, forget about the former things, for behold, I'm going to do a new thing that shall sprout forth, shall you not know it? So I cling to this word. And because of their encouragements, and they kept on talking to me, giving me food. They gave us food, they could call me, give us packets of unga, give us what. In fact, they were like the only people who had now accepted us in the society. So through that, I started healing again, those words of encouragement, knowing that now you have somebody who can talk to. Then at Nairobi Women's Hospital, I was still going through the counseling. After every 2 weeks, I go back for counseling. I went for counseling. You see, that was in April, so I had to go up to around the month of October.
Wow.
Then later on, I started healing slowly with the help of my friend Diana. It's when she came in again and referred me to CRU, now Center for Rights of Women. And that place is where now they started following my case so closely. Now that I had again to wake up, they could help me by the support and then the counseling, trainings and all that. So I started feeling a sense of belonging again.
And your parents, what did they say?
My parents, in fact, when I had just come from the hospital, my mom came visiting me, and she found me swollen all over my face. And she was so furious about it. She wasn't very happy. In fact, she told me, daughter, I'm the one who's been telling you always to remain in that marriage. But because of what I have seen, now I give you the freedom to live your own life.
How did that feel?
At least it was a relief to me, because now it's like I'm now not bound again.
My God. So this institution that you had a school before, when did you start it?
I started in the school in the year 2008, but I used to operate in different places, so it wasn't very stable.
So while you're still married, so that was your own initiative?
Yeah, it was my own initiative, yes.
So he could not claim that as his own thing?
He tried to claim it as the chairman later on, but you know, as per the constitution that we had written, he wasn't there always. He never used to attend the meetings. In fact, he took me to Nyaya House claiming about that, the registration and everything.
What?
Yes. So when we went there, they asked us for the constitution, and he gave out the constitution. And he was asked, who are you in that school? And he said he was the chairman. So they asked him, when was the last meeting that you ever convened? And he told him, no, you know, I've been busy trying because I'm a pastor, and so I don't find time to be there. And they asked him, when was the last time you were in that school? And he said, when the graduation was there. And he gave out the photos. They told him, anybody can take photos from anywhere, so long as you are in an occasion. And in any minutes that shows that now you are in the last meeting. And there was no minute to show that he was there. In fact, the last meeting was in the year 2009, and we were in 2015. So they asked him, whom does the community recognize as the one who is running the school? And he said, the madam. And who has been heading the school? He said, the madam. So they told him, then she's the eligible lady who is supposed to be running this institution, because now the parents and the children have trust over him. And then the second thing is that this is a community-based institution. It's not an individual thing that where we can just stand up and say, go and close that institution. So we are also looking at the community. So that is how
God
he
fought
lost.
for you.
He lost the case,
So at least now when people rejected you, the community you had built around your life for 14 years, when they rejected you, you got a new family. So Diana, crew,
yes,
your spiritual authority, I mean your
yes,
best couple, your spiritual authority as well.
Yes,
they stood in the gap for you.
The best couple is the spiritual authority right now.
I see.
Yes,
I see.
yes.
So you got a new family now.
Yeah, I got a new family.
You got
now.
your school back.
Yes, it wasn't now very nice until when crew came in.
Yes.
So crew started now helping me by the ideas and even the financial support.
Yes.
And that is how we stood again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at a spiritual level, where are you with God? You know, because at times when you go through these things, we tend naturally, humanely, to ask God, why me? I've served you.
Yes,
I'm always at Karura. You know, I've been a good wife.
Yes.
Why me? Did you go through?
I went through that. I even asked God, what didn't I do that truly made me to? Because if it is an issue of giving offerings to us, my family, I did it. Sacrificial offerings for my marriage to stand. There are times that I would fast and pray for my family. There are so many things that I did spiritually. So right now I might say that now I'm better off.
Yeah.
I'm better off. For this purpose,
Yes.
now is when I'm realized, for this purpose, that's the reason why I had to go through what I went through.
Yeah.
I used to accuse God, why did he allow it? But now I knew now for this purpose, to encourage other people, to encourage other women who are going through the same. You know, under this cover, there are so many women who are going through a lot. I remember the last time when I was also on TV, there is a lady who called me and she told me that she's been going through the same. In fact, she was coming from Embakasi and she's also a pastor's wife. I had to talk to her, counsel with her, and even tell her on how I went about, because she kept on asking me on how she went about, on how I overcame.
Yes.
And she had gone through a lot, that the man used to pretend that he has gone for prayers and ameenda kwa mpango wa kando, akirudi kupigwa, he was not providing for all that. So there are so many people who have now come through my hands, and we've been doing counseling, follow-up with other organizations, and there are also those whose children were unable to go to school, like my children, when they never used to go to, they never got enough school fees.
Yes.
I also have now to give a lending hand to those women who don't have money and those who are going through domestic violence, now bringing them to that school and teach their children freely and help them go through that state. So I might say it was also for this purpose.
For this purpose.
That I had to go through the painful moments.
Wow.
Yes.
So your heart is in a good place right now?
Yeah, my heart is in a good place. I found so much peace. Do you know, when I was in marriage, I never used to sleep. In fact, I used to sleep with a solar light under my pillow. But right now, I sleep like...
you oversleep even.
I oversleep. I can sleep at any time. Even right now, if I just tune my mind that I want to sleep, I will sleep here. Exactly.
No, hatutaki ulale.
I'm just saying, if I I'm at peace by
the level of peace.
Yes, I'm at peace.
God.
I'm at peace. I no longer use medicines that I used to have, the omeprazole for the ulcers. I no longer use them.
Yes.
Yes.
Would you, if someone approached you and said, "Look, Joanne, can we be in a relationship?" Would you be open to a second chance at love, at marriage?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll be. Yes.
No, I celebrate you. It's actually that is a sign that the healing is complete.
Yeah.
By the time you get to the place where you're saying, you know what, Lord, I'm ready for another relationship.
Yes.
It's always a sign that your healing is complete.
Yes.
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 So kuna mutu.
Maybe not.
But your heart is open to
my heart is open.
Relationship.
Yeah, my heart is open to another new relationship.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I'm at peace. I'm at peace right now.
Yes.
And I think maybe this one will work better.
Maybe this one will work better. It will. You see, you now you know better. You
Yeah,
know the
now
signs.
I know the signs.
I'm hoping maybe he's not a pastor. Not that I have anything against.
By the way, that thing really tormented me. Even right now, being married to a pastor.
Yeah.
When I hear somebody's a pastor and is approaching me,
yes,
I tend to fear.
Yeah.
Because of what I went through.
Yes.
Right now, I don't think if I can be a good pastor's wife.
I'm with you. I understand. Even I would fear, you know. But the good thing is that whoever God brings your way,
whoever God brings,
may God make that marriage happy, fruitful, joyful.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and you continue glowing like this.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, for women who may be going through the same thing and they're totally, completely unable to leave their relationships, and because of first fear, it's always a foundation of fear.
Yes.
What would your advice be to them?
My advice to these women is that kindly just speak it out. Speak it out. In fact, in speaking, there is a lot of healing. When you try to hide what is happening behind the bars, that is when you find the worst. I would rather prefer that you get out of that house, ile nyumba ambao wanakuletea maua ukishapigwa wanakudanganya, then you die, utoke pale uende kule nje mahala ambapo at least it is better. Na ningependa kumshauri huyu mwanamke ya kwamba life haina, hatuwezi sema ya kwamba ndio mwisho, kukaa kwa ndoa sio mwisho. Afadhali utoke ndani ya ndoa na uishi maisha ya amani for the sake of your children. In fact, most of the time nilikuwa nafikiria my own children. These are 3 good children that have that has a generation. It's better you get out and take care of this other generation rather than staying there dying and maybe you spoil the other generation. So namtia tu moyo huyo mwanamke, ongea, tafuta ushauri. Maisha ya saa hii tunaona wamama wengi wanauawa, tunaona saa hii wanawake wengine wanachoma hata waume wao. Kabla ifikie kiwango hicho cha kuumizana, heri utoke mapema, uishi maisha yako kwa amani. Ama kama ni ushauri, mkae mahali, mtengane kidogo, alafu kama Mungu atawarejesha pamoja, kila mmoja akishajijua, ajue kwamba hapa ndipo nilipofanya makosa, ndio uweze kurejea.
That is sound wisdom. That is sound wisdom. The separation, and if God says come back together, mtarudiana. That is sound wisdom.
Yes.
Joanne Luce, nani kama wewe?
Asante. Ni Mungu.
I celebrate your story.
Yes.
It was painful for 14 years.
Yes, it was.
But you found, and God also helped you to leave a dark situation.
Yes.
And you went through a dark period.
I went through a dark period.
But now you're coming out in the light.
Exactly.
And you're pulling out other women.
Exactly.
And I can only just say all the best.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You know, may your paths be brighter and brighter.
Amen, amen.
You know, and
amen.
For the next relationship that you're in, let it be the total and complete opposite of what those 14 years were.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you
it shall
so much.
be so.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
If they want to reach you, how can they? Please tell them.
Yeah, I have my page. I have page Joanne Luce on Instagram, Joanne Luce. All my Twitter handle, Aluce, Aluce Joanne. And then I have my WhatsApp number, 0725 569904. You can find me on those numbers.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I'm glad that you've given it an opportunity for others to just reach you.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
thank you so much. And to you watching, this has been really inspiring, and we're just so thankful that this story has a beautiful ending. And I love love stories.
Thank you.
mean, if you watch my show forever, you know I love a good love story. So I'm just glad to know that Joanne is ripe and ready for love. And if you're going through this, again, her story proves that it's not the end.
It's not the end.
It's not a death sentence.
It isn't.
And reach out to her for help. just talk to someone. Text her, you know, even if
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Even if you're a big shot and you don't want her to know who you are, just that's the beauty of WhatsApp. Text, get the help you need, have someone to talk to so that you don't die by yourself. Okay? Thank you for watching. The show goes up on YouTube now and I repeat on Tuesday at 10 p.m. Stay well, be safe, God bless you.
Karibuni Tamarind Tree Hotel. My name is John Musau. I'm the general manager of the hotel. Thursday, we have a band. Thursday is our new Friday. We have the Latapasa band to entertain you from 5 p.m. till 11 p.m. You will enjoy it as you're enjoying your food. Friday, we have DJ Voltage. We dance till morning. Come with your dancing shoes on Friday. Then Sunday is our best day. We have a brunch, family brunch, where you bring your family, you bring your kids, you bring your friends. And we have our heated pool where all kids and family members swim. And we charge very little amount for swimming, really. So please, karibuni to Tamarind Tree Hotel. Our food is compared to none.